The first question is what is Node.js and what is the difference between blocking and non-blocking I/O and why it is significant. All right. Thanks for the question. Actually, we all know that Node.js is an open source V8 based runtime, JavaScript runtime that actually helps us to create server, backend, and create networking applications, uh, and uh, and uh, uh, the next part of the question was like uh, what is the difference between blocking and non-blocking IO. All right. And We all know that blocking IO means here input and output, and blocking means if the server starts reading any starts doing any asynchronous tasks like reading any file input or something like that. I mean any asynchronous tasks. If the code starts gets stopped executing other parts of the code. Actually, it gets blocked when it started doing any asynchronous tasks. That is called blocking. And if the code doesn't gets blocked there, while doing any asynchronous task, and it continues executing the other part of the code, the next part of the code, it is called non-blocking. So basically blocking is something like doing asynchronous task by stopping executing other code, the next part of the code, and non-blocking is something like doing asynchronous and synchronous tasks simultaneously. Why it is significant? Non-blocking IO is significant because very much beneficial, because it doesn't stop the executing of the code actually, and that's why Node.js can handle so many requests at a single time, and its response time is very much fast. And that is why non-blocking as a non-blocking IO or non-blocking asynchronous server language, Node.js is very much popular. The second question is what is the event loop in Node.js and why it is what is the main feature or some features of it actually. The key features. All right. We all know that Node.js is an runtime of JavaScript, and JavaScript is a single-threaded language, high-level single-threaded language, and so Node.js is also an single-threaded language, acts like that. But being a single-threaded language, Node.js can handle lots of requests at a single time, just because of that event loop. Whenever Node.js sees gets some asynchronous tasks to do, it actually sends those asynchronous tasks to its web APIs, and event loop actually does the main part of it. JavaScript executes its operations. Its code from the main stack. Call stack. But Event loop start watching if the call stack is free. There is no task pending in the call stack, and if there is any task completed in web APIs, and if it sees any task is completed in web APIs and ready to be executed, then the event loop actually push that completed asynchronous tasks to call stack, and then Node.js executes it. And this is how Node.js actually handles a lot of operations at a single time, though it's a single-threaded language. Then that is why event loop is very much essential or main key feature in Node.js. And also there is no context switching over Node.js actually, and this is how there is no any lagging while Node.js executes any script actually. This is how Node.js gets faster response actually. Third question is what is the difference between yarn and npm and where we should use them. So npm and yarn both are package managers in javascript environment. Actually the main difference is npm is comes as default with node.js, and yarn was built by Facebook itself. And actually in anywhere we can use both of those package managers, but yarn is a bit fast, but npm is default which comes with node.js, and that's it. The fourth question is how to do cross origin resource sharing in Express.js. All right, we can easily achieve that with course package, by installing course package in Express.js, and then we just can call that course and use it as a middleware, and we also can set can set actually in which domain which domain can get our API access, data access from that server, and this all can be done with course packages actually. The fifth question is what is the characteristics of global error handler in Express.js. Alright, in Express, a global error handler works like a middleware actually. It's basically a middleware. By using global error handler, we can handle the errors in our Express application centrally, and we can set some custom error messages. We can actually log and monitoring the errors, and so on, and this is why it actually helps us to pick up and solve the errors, get the errors in a centralized zone and solve them easily, and this is why actually global error handlers middleware is very much essential in Express.js. The last and sixth question is what is the difference between app.route and app.use. Alright, before understanding the difference between these two, we need to actually understand how does it work actually. Actually, app.route is something that specifies some routes, specifies some code base for a specific route. We can implement get, post, update, push, any kind of API calls by using app.route. Yeah, on the other hand, app.use is basically called some middleware, and app.use is applied to all the routes available in our Express application, but app.route is specific for any route segment. Thank you.